Hey fellow foodies, it's Faye from faysfood.com, and today I'm sharing a wonderful recipe for this beautiful pumpkin swirl cheesecake. It's rich, it's creamy, it's really satisfying. So for the crust, I actually use ginger snap cookies instead of the graham crackers. I just grind those up, combine them with some sugar, salt, pumpkin pie spice, and cinnamon. I'm gonna go ahead and add the butter. I'm using unsalted melted butter. And then I mix this until it's combined. And you can add a little bit more butter if you find the need to. But what it should resemble is some wet sand. It should clump up in your hands when you squeeze it all together. That looks good. So I'm going to set it to the side. And here's an insider secret, guys. You can use a cake pan to make cheesecakes. Professionals do not use springform pans. I've never seen them use one. So you can use a cake pan for a cheesecake. That's what I'm doing. Make sure you grease it really well with the pan grease I'm going to provide a recipe for, as well as line it with some parchment paper. Okay, go ahead and pour in the crumbs into the bottom of the cake pan and begin to flatten it with your hand. Make sure you get the edges. And this is a good start, but what really is going to make it nice and flat is using the bottom of a measuring cup. It really does the job well. That's looking good. Alright, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and bake this for 10 minutes at 350. Then you just remove it and let it cool, and then you can work on the actual cheesecake. So I'm using softened cream cheese. I'm also using a stand mixer. It's much easier to make cheesecakes with this than a hand mixer, but that's just my opinion. And you want to get it going for about 1 or 2 minutes on a medium-low speed, just to kind of break it up. And then you go ahead and stop the mixer, scrape the bowl and paddle really well. I'm going to be redundant in this video. I'm going to be saying that a lot, and it's key because you don't want lumps in your cheesecake. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add the sugar. It's just regular granulated sugar in a steady stream. And as far as the speed of the mixer, I don't go above medium-low because we want to be aware that we don't want to add any air into this cheesecake. Okay, so I added in the sugar, I let it cream for a bit. Halfway, I kind of stop the mixer again and scrape the bowl and paddle really well. Okay, so get it going again. And you want to cream this for about 2 minutes. Again, medium-low speed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the salt at this point, and I'm adding in lemon zest. I know you're looking at me crazy right now, like lemon zest and pumpkin, but trust me, it works, okay? Here's my logic behind that. Lemon zest and lemon juice, basically lemon, really does well with cream cheese and sour cream, which is what we have in this cheesecake. So it's just subtle enough to bring those flavors out, but not strong enough where it affects the flavor of the pumpkin or the spices. Okay? So anyways, after we added in the zest, we mixed it for a bit, stop it and scrape it, and then get it going again. And then add in the sour cream. Now the sour cream is going to help with the creaminess, of course, and it's going to add a little bit of tang. Okay, get this mixed in. Don't overdo it, just a minute or so. Stop in between and scrape the bowl and the paddle. Okay, so I'm gonna get it going on a low speed again. Scrape it. And now we're ready for our eggs and vanilla. I'm gonna go ahead and add the eggs and vanilla in 4 additions. Key here is you really want to go slow and low, and you want to make sure that the eggs incorporate well before adding in the next addition of eggs. Okay, so be patient during this step. Guys, I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm beyond excited that Thanksgiving's a few days away. It's absolutely my favorite holiday. Let me know in the comments below if it's your favorite holiday as well. Also, let me know what you guys are gonna have. Of course, we're gonna have turkey and mashed potatoes, but let me know what other things you're gonna be having at that table. Okay, so after each addition, really, you wanna go ahead and scrape down the bowl and the paddle really well. And then it's ready for the last addition. And then scrape that down again. Get it mixing again. And now we're ready for a steady stream of heavy cream. Make sure to get all of it in there. And after you mix for about a minute, just to incorporate it, you want to go ahead and stop it, it being the mixer, and scrape down the bowl and paddle really well. I warned you about my redundancy during this video. I'm sorry. So now we can go ahead and add in the lemon juice. Once again, it's going to help with the flavor of the cream cheese and sour cream. Okay, so you can see I just mix it to add it really. And then I stop again and scrape down the bottom of the bowl. And what I did, which I didn't film, is I took about 1.5 cups of the regular batter, set it to the side, and now we can go ahead and put the remaining batter and combine it with the pumpkin puree and cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice. And I'm gonna just dump it all in at once. Okay, so again on low speed, just get this going. And really what you can see is that it starts to change colors on us. It becomes a nice natural orange. If you wanted to, you have the option of adding some orange food coloring, but I prefer this natural look. Okay, so scrape down the bowl really well. And then you can go ahead and pour it into your crust. Make sure you get all that cheesecakey goodness in there. Wonderful. Now I go ahead and tap and shake, and we want to release any air bubbles. That's why we're doing this. Okay, so remember that reserved regular batter that we had? Now we're going to be using it. Go ahead and pour in just dots kind of anywhere. I use a 1/4 cup measure to do this, but you just kind of pour in random places. And then you use a knife or a offset spatula, and I swirl it up and down across and then up and down again, and it produces a beautiful marble swirl look. You can overdo it, so I just recommend 2 or 3 times. And then I tap it again. And then you're going to bake this for 30 minutes at 350, another 30 minutes at 325, and then I turn the oven off and leave it in there to cook for another 10 minutes. Now, how you can tell a cheesecake is done is the outer edge, the outer 2 inches should be set, firm. The inside, the inner circle should be jiggly, like Jello, but if you touch it with your finger, it should not be liquid at all. Okay, so you wrap it, you're gonna let it cool completely. Then you wrap it, and then you refrigerate it overnight. Okay, next day, this is how you unmold it. I use a blowtorch. I love using a blowtorch with this kind of thing. You can, of course, run it over the stove, over the flame, or you can dip it in hot water as well. All these options will work. So I go on the edge, I go over the top as well, which is really the bottom. See, I flipped it over. And the key, if you're using a blowtorch, is don't leave it in one spot too long. You really just want to go quick and fast. We're just trying to loosen any butter that is hardened up. Okay. So now I'm going to flip it over. And here's the moment of truth. Okay, and I actually hear and feel that it did drop down. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and lift it up. And there you have the bottom of your cheesecake. You can see how perfect it looks. I'm telling you, cake pans work. Don't be scared to use them. Okay, so to flip it over, just use another cake board. And I have parchment on the cake board on the bottom. You just flip it over. Easy as that. Voila. See how beautiful that looks? And that is our cheesecake. And you could be done at that point. But I'm going to go ahead and decorate it some more. I'm going to just go with some rosettes on the outer edge. The fun part about baking is, for me, the decorating and eating it, but it gives you so much freedom. You can really decorate this as you wish. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of the remaining crumbs that I had and sprinkle those over the top. I'm kind of being cautious. I'm being light-handed with this. I want to overdo it because, again, we worked hard for that swirl look and we don't want to cover it up with crumbs. And if you drop any in the middle, you can go ahead and pick it up. No big deal. All right. And then just because I'm going to add some white chocolate curls. What you could do as well to give it kind of a popped out look is you could melt that white chocolate, put the orange food coloring in there, let it harden up again, and then shave it, and you'll have orange white chocolate curls. It would look cool, but I didn't have time to do that. Anyways, here is our pumpkin swirl cheesecake. Oh my god, perfect for fall, perfect for any time really. It is so good. I'm going to show you how to get the perfect cheesecake slice as well. Our trusty blowtorch, we're going to heat up our big French knife. Go down and slide it out. Do not go up and down when you're slicing anything, a cake, a cheesecake, anything, because that will just make a messy slice. And if you don't have a blowtorch, again, you can just dip it in some really hot water. Just make sure to wipe off the water every time you're slicing. Let me show you this beautiful slice of pumpkin swirl cheesecake done the right way. Like, look at that. That is some good cheesecake right there. Alright, for the full recipe, go to faysfood.com. Subscribe to the channel for more great videos on the way. Comment below for any comments or questions. And share this video as well. And like this video. Like this video, that is important as well. Let me show you the texture of this cheesecake. So creamy. Give this a try. Until next time, guys, you have a wonderful day.
You know I ain't trying to say no dreams. I'm just trying to make this money. I ain't trying to share with the team. Girl, I ain't trying to take nothing from you.